Hi everyone, welcome back to Kilimo Faida TV. It's your host as usual, B. Kimani. Today I want us to talk about fruit farming. This is one of the farming practices that's giving people money, and it's a real ideal idea for agribusiness. So today I want us to speak about Tamarillo, well known in Kenya as tree tomatoes. It's a fruit that grows 2 meters high from the ground, and it's well known to come from this family called Solanaceae family, which grows up to approximately 5 meters above the ground. The tree normally forms a single upright trunk with lateral branches that emerge at the top, giving it a chance to flower and produce fruits. When most people meet it in the market, it's very appealing because of the nice red color. Some are yellow, based on the varieties. We have 4 varieties, and today I want us to know exactly how are you supposed to do tree tomato farming. Most people do it wrongly. Most people face challenges. Most people leave it halfway because of some of the challenges that do emerge along the way. But today I want us to learn the best practices. That's why I want you to keep growing until the end. Subscribe to our channel on Facebook, like our page. We're bringing you this live so that we can keep growing together. So where did this fruit come from in the first place? It originated supposedly in the areas of Colombia, in the Southern American parts. It does well in highlands, informing us of the main growing regions in Kenya, which mostly is Kisii, Migori, Nyandarua in Mount Kenya. Those are the predominantly these fruit growing areas. The fruit will do very well in areas where citrus are farmed. Its skin, when fresh, you'll find most are yellow and red, as we said earlier, based on the fruits. So the main varieties, we have 3. The red Oracia, that is the big fruit that is very red, very appealing when you see it. We have another one that is yellow. So when you see your fruits are ripening as yellow, you still don't feel like you don't have the right variety, like the light fruit, or you have a problem. It's a variety. Then we have the dark red or black variety. The fruits are large and higher in quality. So which are the ecological requirements of growing tree tomato? These tree tomatoes, they grow well in well-drained fertile soils, which are rich in organic matter. They have a vigorous growth, and they require to grow at a pH of 5 to 8. That is mostly in neutral grounds. So if the area is so acidic, they won't do very well. If the area is very basic, it won't do well. That's why I will recommend, if you want to do this in large scale and you want a profitable venture, please do a soil analysis. Talk with your experts, talk with your agronomist, or if you have a problem, reach out to us at Kilimo Faida TV. So for the field operations, the key things that we are going to look at is the planting, weeding, and the main cultural practices for a good planting. So when you want to plant, what do you plant for tree tomato? You plant either seeds or the cuttings, but the best that I will recommend is a seedling. When you want to do a big venture, it will cost you, and so I will recommend, for surety, buy seedlings from a trusted or a certified nursery. Like these fruits were sourced from Wambogo farms in Nyeri, making it one of the best variety. So you have got your seedlings, you have the varieties, you have selected your variety very well. So when it comes to planting, ensure you dig your ground very well. Have on average 2 feet wide, 2 feet down. Put down your organic matter, and now come and introduce your seedling. While planting, you require to use a high phosphoric fertilizer like the DAP, or Any other good formulation that your agronomist will recommend. For us, we will recommend either DAP. You can plant with the BT fertilizers, a good fertilizer that will ensure the fruit has enough phosphorus. Now there is an area where most farmers go wrong. You have planted your fruit very well, the light soil, well drained, and it's fertile. But then you forget about the weeds. Remember, weeds are able to, or weeds can reduce production with up to 50% of any crop. So this fruit doesn't need, or like it hates weeds. So you have to ensure there are no weeds. Do good weeding to ensure there is no competition of nutrients, no area for multiplication of insect or the pests, and it also helps you to reduce the chances of diseases in the fruit. Then the fruit, one thing for sure, it requires a lot of water. That's why it's doing well in the highlands. So ensure you have a good source of water because of the dry times, and that's where now the aspect of mulching comes in. From there, you will require to prune. When your fruit has so many branches and a lot of leaves, at times it reduces the quality of the fruits, the quality of the trees, because the tree will now be overburdened. So what you do some pruning, and then in most cases you'll find these fruits are heavy, and they fruit very, or they have so many fruits. You see, for one cluster it will do up to, like this one, it hasn't done very well because it's the first fruiting, but you will find one cluster taking up to 7 fruits. So it's always good to support the tree to ensure that you don't have damage to the plant. You have done everything very well. You planted, you have managed to water, you have done mulching, you have done weeding. But now I want to alert you, this fruit is susceptible to pests and diseases, and this is where most farmers go wrong or they give up. If you have ever done tomato farming, you know what it means to relate this fruit with the tree tomato, because with this fruit it's very easy to get attacks from blight, other fungal infections like powdery mildew, and then we have the mosaic virus. One by one, insects. One of the most common insects with the tree tomato is aphids and whiteflies. You find once your fruit is attacked by aphids or whiteflies, it affects the whole performance of the crop, because it now starts getting stunted growth. It welcomes secondary infections. That's like the fungal and the lights. So the good thing you do, ensure you have an insecticide. Ensure you rotate the insecticides, like you're using different molecules, and always ensure you are spraying throughout. Don't say that is not the right until the time of fruiting. When you have now the fruiting intervals, that's when you withdraw. If you are farming for export, you'll have the guide of the restricted insecticide that you're supposed to use. So whitefly is a very detrimental pest because it invites our first disease that is very common in tree tomatoes, which is mosaic virus. Once it sucks from an infected tree, it transfers to the healthy tree, and now it introduces the disease. With mosaic virus, you will see the leaves reducing in size, becoming sharp, and having dark spots. That is the mosaic virus. Once you have the mosaic virus attack, you have no option other than to cut down that tree, because a virus has no cure. You can only control the spread. So the first control is you ensure you are controlling the pests in your trees, all on your trees. Number 2, we have the fungal infection, which is common, which is blight. bright, we have early and late brights. You see sunken spots, turning yellowish and some dark green. Now, what you need to do is to have a good fungicide. Start with a weak fungicide as the tree progresses, advance to a stronger fungicides. We are not going to mention the names because we don't have, we have so many that we can recommend, but for today we are going to give you in general, but for more you can always reach out to us. So we have the bright, we have the powdery mildew, and we have the mosaic virus. Once you've managed to control that, you are nearly good to go. The other common and pest, the last pest that we can mention is the nematodes, mostly affecting the root part. And the good thing to do, you can always do a test, a PCN test, to ensure that you know the status of your soil, and we have good insecticides in the agrovets that can be used to control nematodes. The nutritional requirements, mostly we said you, when planting, do a DAP on a high phosphorus, a high phosphorus fertilizer, and then 2 months from planting, once your fruits are established, you do a top dress. Always ensure that during the flowering stage you use a high potassium fertilizer. Liquid, you can use liquid fertilizer, high boron. The boron will help you in holding the fruits and the flowers to allow to prevent abortion. For the high potassium, the high potassium will help in the color and the flavor of the fruit. You find some of the tree tomatoes, maybe you're farming and you're finding your fruits very bitter. So it's the nutritional balance that is lacking in the fruits. And for more guide, you can always reach out to us. As you do this, you might meet a challenge where you find your fruits are drying up. And maybe you are having this question. Mostly you may find rare cases of Fusarium wilt. I'm getting reminded by one of the comments on Facebook that we didn't mention that. So Fusarium wilt mostly attacks the roots, and Fusarium will always come with nematodes. When you see your fruits are drying up, you always have to suspect either Fusarium or nematodes in the fruits. Start fruiting between 8 months to 1 year. That's when you'll get good fruiting. And the first fruiting will be minimal, and then it progresses. The optimum production period starts at 3 to 4 months, and then that's the peak, and then it can fruit up to 12 years. After the 12th year, your fruit is done, and you can now go back and do another plantation. So that was it for today about tree tomato or lead Oleracea farming. And I believe most of you have tried this and maybe at times failed. Maybe you are doing it even at a better scale that you would even want to comment and give us your experience. Please do at the comment section. You can always reach out if you have any problem. And now, join me after this break. We talk with one young man who has beaten all odds to do lead Oleracea farming successfully. He went to Wambogo farm, got the seedlings. He's waiting for the first fruiting on this mom lane for period. And now I believe you want to get what he has done and how he has made it. So join me after the break. Remember to share, subscribe, and comment. I was your host, Bikiman.